Welcome to another episode of Not for the Weak Minded. Now, if you haven't seen the movie Blackout, which is a Russian movie, then I recommend not watching the video as there's a few spoilers. However, if you don't mind watching to see what this movie has to say. Firstly, the one-eye symbolism in the movie. Obviously I can't play things for copyright, but this base, after a power out, and the area around it was the only place on the earth which had power left, which was not affected, or in this case infected, by the blackout. This perimeter base got attacked, and it wasn't by people, but rather bears. You might ask yourself, how? Let's just play that a little bit. And you might think, okay, it's just a few bears, right? So we'll fast forward. Didn't think, we almost lost you there. And then we'll let this cut out. That's a lot of bears. Mysterious to start with, but it will all come apparent as we go through the movie. You see the devastation of all these bears that were attacking in one force this place on the perimeter of the blackout zone. So this kid has abilities. He was just outside he's in the outside the quarantine zone, and his ability is to be able to hear and see a person who can control those who are infected. And so this dude appears, and his name is ID. If anyone knows if that has any relation to the Bible or literature, please let me know, because there are things that are most certainly related to the occult later on, i.e. the opposition and the guy, let's say, controlling those bears is his brother. Is it the tale of two brothers? We will see. So he's different, he's the only one. I didn't see his face, but I know who you're talking about. Where is he? he takes and reveals himself. The veil has been lifted, and he's humanoid alien being. Huh. You must come with me if you want to live. Moving on. So, that's right. Millions just like me will be here soon. They all want the same thing, to destroy you. All of you. I am on your side. We don't have much time, but if you hear me out, I'll try to convince you. You're not human, who are you? In your language, I'm what you call a god. I am ready to answer all your questions, but we are running out of time. Okay. Pardon me. Next. So they're interviewing, and let's rewind it. So it says, are you saying it's all due to some radiation? That is why things like the bears all came together as one. That apparently turned 160 million people into mindless alien puppets. To put it simply, pardon me, yes. I was supposed to give the order to begin the irradiation process. Once the moon is above the ocean. But I gave the order when the moon covered this part of the planet, the Earth, the plane. The radiation didn't reach it. That's why the circle of life appeared. But those behind the circle, beyond the circle, no longer have control over their own minds. They simply follow orders like drones. Soon they'll gather around the circle and attack you. The first wave, according to this dude, was life attacking humanity first, outside of the circle, and then the second wave was humans fighting you. Right? It'll begin with the third wave of colonization. And then it says, why do you need our planet? Because their sun's dying, blah 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 blah. So you want to destroy us. And that's why you need colonization waves. Actually, there was also a wave number 0. How many of you know about World War 0? Oh, hang on. According to our race's colonization system, Wave 0 is a biological attack that was supposed to subdue the planet while the ships were on the way. Who is that? Cover us. Our solar system is far away from yours. I don't understand. Since the colonization ship is unable to travel at light speed, they send smaller ships with bioweapons through in hyperspace It reaches the target almost instantaneously. Then the Armada moves out. By the time the Armada arrives in 200,000 years, the planet is all ready for the new inhabitants. So they're only coming in 200,000 years. No, they arrive tomorrow. And that is something which relates to what is to come, right? Many believe an alien invasion from a planet far away, Nibiru, right? It's all in here. It's all esoteric. So, this wave number 0, the biological attack. Did you prevent it, or did it just fail? On the contrary, it worked very well. All weapons are perfect. Once it reaches the planet, it starts spreading, attacking all forms of life present. It either destroys them or enslaves them. That's how we got rid of the Earth's developed race. You mean us? You don't actually think that people built the pyramids? And the underwater cities? On the contrary, I believe giants most definitely did build those said pyramids, right? And they were most definitely human. Our ancestry goes into that, that line and that line of thinking. Giants. What are you saying? And then next one. You are our perfect invaders. So humanity. He's blaming humanity. The perfect virus. You wiped out the original population, making room for us. So they're talking about the first peoples, the indigenous tribes, that kind of ideology, right? Look how alike we are. Two races from different solar systems can't be this similar. We have the same DNA. So we are you. I think that was tempo, but let me know what you think. It says, God created man in his own image. Typo or deliberate? God. Oh, but to be specific, you're the product of our genetic engineering. And poor child. You are a truncated version of us. We took away your psionic abilities. We gave you your drive to mate, which awoke your primal instincts. Combined with your emotions and mortality, the result in your need to procreate thoughtlessly and vigorously. This way, the virus spread faster. So humanity is the virus. As a result, you completed the mission thousands of years sooner than expected. And in that scene, you see the child die, but he was controlled by his brother. This person's brother. And his name is Ra. So as you see from the start here, now 160 million people have been hive-minded by an alien being who has, by somewhat tense purposes, manipulated humanity to now be a weapon against itself. The hive mind mentality. Yet again, zombies. So these soldiers are being attacked by a militia controlled by, in all intents and purposes, an artificial intelligence, an alien intelligence. So she says, this is nonsense. You have to believe it. The sooner you accept the truth, the more chance you will have to win. We, us, aren't you with them? You control them? Not exactly. I arrived on that ship with the virus. Someone else was with me. That was 200,000 years ago. We were supposed to supervise your development and welcome our kind when they arrived. I was certain I was the only who survived by now, but I guess I was wrong. Because his brother, Ra, is controlling humanity now. So the one who controls them, he's the same as you? Exactly. His name is Ra. He's their master. Sun God. Together, they're a whole. We must kill him. Then I can take control of them and neutralize them. But first I need to find him. That's why I'm here. You know in the zombie movies how humanity is already infected? It says it in it. They just don't know what happened. Everyone's just seemed to already be infected. Well, nanotechnologies being spread through geoengineering, the introduction of 5G technologies and the microchips all play a part towards what you see here being depicted. And those that are pulling the strings are these aliens, right? These beings that are created in our own, that they created us in our own image. This is what people want to believe, right? Except for it goes much further back in time to do with the giants, right? And this has to do with the Watchers, the Agigi, the Elohim, right? The Anunnaki, and their bloodline. But first I need to find him. That's why I am here. So we have one of them trying to save humanity. So yeah, Sasha's the boy's name. Sorry, on one of the other things that could see and hear into that, them communicating stuff. He can see Ra. We must take him to the outpost, close to the quarantine zone. Sorry. My assistant and I are going with you. What if everything you told me is a lie? And you're on their side? You must decide whether or not to believe me or not. And then she gets a phone call. And now, what's the next one? And basically, she gets a phone call to say the bases are getting messages to say we're not doing very well. And this clip will explain more. So this crew is one of many outside this that are just on the perimeter of the circle, and they're fighting humanity. And they're not doing very well, to say the least. So there's certain flares they have. Let me go back. A red one and a blue one. Let's go back there quickly. There you go. The red pill and the blue pill. The red one indicates total loss of squad, basically. And and the blue one is, we need help. So she gets the thing, fires the flare. I'm gonna and if you note, it turns into a little rocket. Now you're gonna see this clip, and I wonder whether these things are real. These things exist, and the certain things we're seeing in the skies, not all things, could relate to this technology. Now let's watch. So this is the base. That's the signal flare. I just thought it was interesting because maybe some of the things we're seeing that are going across the sky are actually this. There's wars going on. There's clandestine wars going on. And this could be secret technology being shown in this program. In this television movie. Russian movie. But it's military. It's military apparatus, right? But as you see, we continue. More and more flares turn up. As the circle, or the quarantine zone, which which was created when the power went out, and anyone out, outside of that circle of life, let's call it, has been hive-minded to attack the circle of life. It's tragic. You may say this is just a movie, but it's an ideology and an understanding that this is exactly what our common enemy wants to do. Right? So these smart flares might exist. Okay. And notice the base is a pyramid. Interesting, eh? There's cult symbols in here as well. And this dude, the war has begun. So they're coming to the chopper and they're having a little natter. She asks, "Are you even immortal?" There's no such thing. Go back. There's no such thing as immortality. But I will live forever if no one kills me. We can alter the structure of our bodies, renewing ourselves. Can you cure any diseases? Can you cure any disease? Yes. For instance, cerebral palsy. And this dude, his assistant, couldn't walk. And he cured him. And the moral of that little conversation is that Xenia helps him of his own free will. After being cured of cerebral palsy, it's still his choice to be there. That's what he was saying. He didn't force him. And he says that's the advantage we have over slaves. Free will. You understand that the people outside the circle of life are no longer have free will, because they're now slaves to a hive mind system and controlled and manipulated by his brother Ra. And Id is trying to save humanity Romulus and Remus. There's many comparables in history and how it's been written through time about the two brothers, Enlil and Enki, right? But this might actually have to do with astronomical talk, the stars, their alignments, stories to remember, time. This is Sasha. So yeah, first you hear the voices, the conversations, try to hear them now. You must listen for the one that controls them. Listen. Everything depends on you, boy. Hear the voice. And there he is. Back. Standing on this skyscraper. Between two towers. Him representing probably the third pillar. So, draws the skyscraper. I find out where he is. Sees him. Just watch that bit. There he is. Gonna watch that bit again. He controls them from there. There he is. There's Ra. Okay. All done. Did everything you could. We need to get the hell out of here. I'll explain. You were invaded by alien forces. About 160 million people have survived outside the Circle of Life. From day one, they've been gathering towards the Circle, collecting weapons, grouping, and preparing for war. Are you from military intelligence? Just rip off the veil. Does it look like it? I'm an alien, mate. I'm what you call an alien. You got nostril mouth. For now, we still have a chance to turn things around. We must take action. We must take him out. The enemy is controlled by someone like him. We must take him out, or the Circle of Life won't survive. Moscow's under attack. They've broken through, as we've seen by the last shot with the flares. That was the perimeter. I'll explain it on the way. And so I didn't do any more. I didn't want to ruin the film. All I wanted to show you was that hive mind humanity is a serious agenda by the elites. Okay, and that extraterrestrials are involved, but so are also negative spiritual entities. You know, inside of humans, more, you know, inside of these aliens coming from the underworld. I don't know. It's a serious danger we're all in. As their operations continue. Take care, everyone. Till next time.